Welcome to Fresh Talk News Channel. Today, we're diving deep into a developing and highly controversial story out of New York. It's a story that has the potential to impact every taxpayer in the state. The heart of this issue is a proposal that could force New York state taxpayers to cover the personal legal fees of state officials who are under federal investigation. Yes, you heard that right. If a state official is being investigated by the federal government, taxpayers may end up paying for their legal defense. This explosive story was first reported by the New York Post and has sparked outrage and debate. The most high-profile figure at the center of this controversy is New York State Attorney General Letitia James. The Trump administration's Department of Justice has launched a federal investigation into AG James, accusing her of mortgage fraud. The proposal to use taxpayer money for legal defense appears in New York State Operations Appropriations Bill. This bill is part of a broader package of budget bills currently being introduced, debated, and voted on this week at the New York State Capitol. These bills are all part of the state's budget process, which was originally due on April 1. The legislation specifically allocates $10 million for services and expenses relating to costs of outside legal services. But the question on everyone's mind is, should taxpayers really be on the hook for the legal troubles of state officials? Republican State Senator Jake Ashby from Castleton didn't hold back his criticism. He said, and I quote, "How is this possible? How is this possible when you look at all the issues this state is facing, from population loss to economic struggles? This is where we're dedicating our funds? We're not just talking about reimbursement, we're talking about potentially $10 million in advance for legal troubles at the federal level." Senator Ashby's outrage is shared by many who believe this is a misuse of taxpayer money, especially at a time when New York is dealing with major challenges. But there's another side to this story. Governor Kathy Hochul has issued a message of necessity for the state budget process, which means the usual 3-day waiting period for voting on a bill has been bypassed. Critics argue this rush is an attempt to push the legislation through without enough public scrutiny. It's important to note that the legislation doesn't directly name Attorney General Letitia James. Instead, it broadly applies to state workers who may need legal defense. But there's no denying that AG James is at the center of the storm. The Trump administration's investigation has turned her into a lightning rod for controversy. Some Democrats argue that this investigation is politically motivated. They point out that Attorney General James has been a fierce critic of Donald Trump and has taken legal action against several of his executive orders. They see the federal probe as retaliation. Albany State Senate Democrat Pat Fahey defended James, saying, "I have nothing but admiration for what the Attorney General has done alongside other attorneys general across the country. They've fought against harmful federal cuts and protected some of our most vulnerable citizens. If an elected official is targeted because of the work they do, there must be a way for them to access legal defense." But this debate isn't just about Letitia James. It's about whether taxpayers should be responsible for bailing out state officials who find themselves in legal trouble, especially when those troubles are at the federal level. The Attorney General's office told CBS 6 that AG James plans to use both private legal defense funds and state funds in her defense against the Trump administration's investigation. A spokesperson for AG James went even further, saying, "Donald Trump promised a vicious revenge tour when he ran in 2024, and he's put Attorney General James at the top of his list. We're ready to respond to these attacks." So what do you think? Should New York taxpayers be forced to pay for the legal defense of state officials under federal investigation? Is this a necessary protection for those in public service, or is it a dangerous misuse of public funds? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching Fresh Talk News Channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more news and updates.